encourages us to embrace challenges. And with every failure, we must stand up and just keep on trying. Welcome to the show called Self-Made.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, so anyway, listening to your story, working with Angkas, it's something, right?
Thank you.
I mean, when you were a kid, because I realized you're from Singapore.
Yep.
Yeah? And can you share with us about your upbringing, being a Singaporean?
Life in the Philippines is very exciting in comparison. In Singapore, it's I guess very standard. Like there's a very fixed way of growing up. But I mean, I was fortunate enough to have a very good education.
I know Singaporean parents are very tough or have high expectation to their children. Are your parents like that too?
Tiger mom, is that what you're talking about?
I don't know.
I had a part-time tiger mom, I guess. So my mom would, I think most of the time she would leave me be, which was good. And then, during exam times, when the results came back, maybe not as happy. I was never always a straight A student.
Okay.
But I mean, I did well enough to get into the right schools.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what you want to be when you were a kid? What was your dream?
I wanted to be a model when I was much younger. Then I wasn't tall enough. And then I wanted to be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized I don't read fast enough to cover all the books.
Mm-hmm.
So I became a banker.
Okay, a banker.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you work as a banker first before Angkas?
Yes, I worked for a banker first, as a banker first, and then I left to do another startup before this.
Okay.
And that kind of started me on the entrepreneurial route. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, working in Philippines, how was that to you? Compare of being so beautiful country Singapore to crazy country Philippines?
Philippines is beautiful in its own way.
Okay.
The people are so warm. The culture is, amazing. People are so passionate, and that's what I really love about the Philippines.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of opportunity when there's a little bit of chaos, right? And I think that keeps things interesting.
How your husband let you come here? And you said you're married with kids. Kid?
Yeah. Okay.
So did you bring the whole family here?
Oh, you don't know this. I'm actually married to a Filipino.
Ah, wow! Magaling ah. Okay, all right. Okay.
Yes.
So, and your husband is a Filipino you met here or you met in Singapore?
So when I was running my previous startup, the government in Singapore, they're very organized. So they're like, hey, please come visit with us to these countries. We want to introduce you to lawyers, accountants, business people. So my first time in the Philippines, I met my husband as a recommended partner.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay.
Of the Singapore government.
Okay.
And
it clicks.
Kind of how it started.
So right away you see that click right away? The first time you met each other?
Yeah.
Really? Even him?
Yes.
Wow, that's beautiful. So what inspired you when you met him? What clicks right away?
I guess it's hard to put a finger on, but I think we just really connected very well, and that was a good basis to keep talking to each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you a tough girl? Like alpha girl? Entrepreneur, right?
Maybe if you ask certain people, I think I'm definitely very no nonsense, and that's how I like to deal with work with my team as well, right? We don't beat around the bush. If you have something, just say it. There's no it's like wasted energy and a lot of drama.
Yes.
So I think that's how that's how you define an alpha. That could be it. But if not, for me it's just practical.
So how are you able to adjust or connect with them, being direct person?
First and foremost, I always make sure that everyone knows that if ever I say something that they may not want to hear, it's not personal. It's always I always try to make it constructive, right? And prefaced or followed by something good, right? And knowing that Filipinos are more sensitive, then if you want to have a private conversation, take it out of the group, things like that. But I think ultimately, if there's trust between two individuals, that lays the basis for an honest, conversation, right? Because then at least there's a trust that you're not being personal, or you're not saying things to be mean on purpose.
Yes.
So I think you need to establish that relationship first, and then that works out better. Yeah.
So what is Angkas to you?
What is Ankas to me?
Yeah.
Ankas is my baby.
Yeah. So what is the impact meaning to you by really helping the community and your people?
Yeah. I mean, when we first started Ankas, it was with a very simple goal of helping commuters through traffic, right? Because that was something that was much needed, and that's something that I and everybody else, and especially Metro Manila, feel on a daily basis. And in fact, it's gotten worse, not better. And it's grown because it's very fulfilling to be able to see the impact that we have helping people move through traffic in a safe and reliable manner. But I think also the impact that we've seen on the lives of our bikers. That's also something that that really helps me wake up every day to go to work, because before, our bikers they may not have much opportunity to make a good living for themselves, right? Because a lot of them are uneducated, misunderstood by society. But with Angkas training, the Angkas platform, the Angkas community, they can now make a good living for themselves. They make 1,500 pesos a day on average for a full-time biker. They're now able to support their families, put themselves through school. All of these things have happened because of the Angkas platform. And I think it's a privilege that we have to be able to help them, and also, to try and train as many bikers as possible, to make them more responsible and professional, and hopefully safer on the roads. So I think there's all of these things that really make this very meaningful.
So how you handle criticism?
Criticism is hard to listen to, but for me, I think it's important to have criticism because it's feedback that you need to hear. And criticism doesn't come from, it should come from somewhere most of the time, and that it's a good way for me to reflect and to see how we can do better. So it's welcome in that sense.
We've been working very hard, like the events. The reason is to really sell Philippines, to encourage more investors to invest here, like you.
Yes.
Right? To create more jobs, which thank you very much. And to make Philippines first world country. What's the opportunity there, being a Singaporean?
I think there's a lot of room for growth in the Philippines, and that's great. And I really want to invite more Singaporeans to come to the Philippines. I think Philippines is a country where it's, I guess, not as well understood compared to the other Southeast Asian nations, right? Maybe because it's a little bit further, it's more Americanized, so that's really like my hope, that we're able to bring more people into the Philippines to see for themselves firsthand how beautiful and how much potential there is in the country, versus what they hear or what they have thoughts in their heads, right? So thank you so much for the awards. I think that really helps put Philippines on the map, and hopefully invite more people to come and see for themselves.
Thank you. But now, is your husband okay with an alpha female?
He's an alpha male too.
Oh yeah, so how you connect?
We have very clear roles that are defined.
Yeah.
So that is, I think, key to making sure that the relationship is healthy.
So what's your message to him?
Well, thank you for always being so patient and supportive.
Yeah. How about to your parents?
Yeah, thank you for giving me the right tools and upbringing and the right values to I guess give me the right foundation in life.
Message to your people?
To my people, thank you for all the passion, the hard work, and the belief that we are doing the right thing, and that we will achieve the vision and goals that we have set out for us. Yeah.
How about working mom? A mother who works, has
Hang
husband,
in there.
kids. Hang in there. That's a good one. Thank you so much.
Yes.
You're so sweet.
Thank you so much.
I am Rebecca Bustamante, and this is Self-Made.